네, 지난 1월 21일 날 트럼프 대통령이 다보스 포럼에서 연설을 했는데요. 그 연설 내용 중에 유럽에 대해서 언급했던 부분을 잘라가지고 그 부분만 자막을 달아서 영상을 올렸거든요. 그 영상을 보시기 전에 제가 잠깐 그 영상 내용에 대해서 유럽 부분에 대해서 트럼프 대통령이 뭐라고 언급했는지 짧게 설명을 드리자면은 트럼프 대통령은 유럽이 너무 많이 변했다. 예전의 모습을 볼 수 없다. 유럽이 너무나 크게 망가지고 있다. 이런 부분을 언급을 했습니다. 뭐 여러 가지 많이 언급을 했는데, 크게 몇 가지를 들어보자면은, 환경 규제, 이런 것 때문에 영국이 그 북해에 석유가 어마어마하게 매장이 돼 있나 봐요. 근데 그거를 전혀 개발을 하고 있지 않다고 합니다. 환경 규제 때문에. 그리고 뭐 유럽 방방곡곡에 풍력 발전기가 저 도처에 깔려 있나 봐요. 그게 이제 시각적으로도 보기가 안 좋지만 그 풍력 발전기라는 게 이 정말 이게 돈을 그 에너지를 통해서 우리가 돈을 벌어야 되는데 그게 아니라 오히려 그것 때문에 시간당 1,000달러씩 돈을 잃고 있다는 거예요. 그게 뭐 유지 비용이라든가 그것 때문에 이제 여러 가지 환경적인 문제들이 발생하니까 풍력 발전소 주변에 사람들이 살지 못하고 좀 다 하여튼 뭐 그런 여러 문제 그리고 그 풍력 발전기에서 그 여러 안 좋은 소리가 계속 나기 때문에 그 주위에 있는 사람들한테 뭐 보상도 해야 되고 그것 때문에 날아가는 새들이 부딪혀 죽고 뭐 이제 뭐 그런 여러 가지 문제 때문에 돈을 버는 게 아니라 그것 때문에 오히려 시간당 1,000달러씩 잃고 있다고 합니다. 뭐 이제 그런 문제도 지적을 하고 그랬는데 그리고 또 이제 그 유럽과 미국의 파워 엘리트들, 미국의 워싱턴이라든가 유럽의 각 수도에 있는 정치 엘리트들이 잘못된 통념을 갖고 있다. 열심히 일을 해서 기업을 세워서 부를 창출할 생각을 안 하고 오로지 정부 지출로 경제를 돌릴 생각을 하고 더럽고 힘든 일은 하기 싫으니까 해외 이민자들을 수입을 해가지고 그런 일들을 해결하려고 하고 뭐 이런 여러 가지 문제가 많다 유럽이. 근데 이제 트럼프 대통령이 정말 하고 싶었던 이야기는 유럽이 지난 10여 년 전부터 잘못된 문화를 받아들임으로 인해 유럽이 스스로 자신을 망가뜨리고 있다, 파괴하고 있다, 그런 말을 했습니다. 그게 정확히 무슨 얘기냐면은 유럽을 수백 년간 지탱해 왔던 기독교 가치관을 버리고 잘못된 사상, 워키즘, PC, 폴리티컬 커렉트니스, 뭐 젠더 이데올로기 이런 잘못된 사상을 받아들여서 유럽이 자기 자신을 스스로 망가뜨리고 있다. 이런 부분을 트럼프 대통령이 언급을 했습니다. 그리고 마지막으로 그린란드를 왜 내가 달라고 하는지 뭐 그런 부분에 대해서도 연설을 했고요. 그래서 트럼프 대통령이 그 원래 미국에서 1월 20일 날 유럽으로 출발할 때 에어포스 원 대통령 전용기가 갑자기 어디가 고장이 났어요. 그래서 급하게 해야 했거든요. 그런데도 원래 그런 일이 생기면 바로 다음날 비행기 잘 정비해서 다음날 출발하거나 그러는데 2시간 만에 다른 예비 비행기 빨리 수소문을 해가지고 2시간 만에 바로 떠났어요. 왜 그렇게 했냐? 트럼프 대통령이 바로 이 연설 다보스 포럼에 가서 유럽 지도자들 앞에서 바로 이 연설을 하고 싶었기 때문에 에어포스 원이 고장났음에도 불구하고 다른 비행기 빨리 수소문을 해서 출발을 했던 것입니다. 그래서 이 그 트럼프 대통령이 다보스 포럼에서 했던 이 연설 내용, 특히 유럽에 대해서 지적했던 내용들이 굉장히 중요하다고 생각을 해서 제가 그 부분만 따로 떼어서 한 10분, 10분이 뭐야? 한 좀 길어요. 한 10 몇 분 되는데 그 부분 자막을 달아놨으니까요. 한번 잘 보셨으면 좋겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다.
The USA is the economic engine on the planet, and when America booms, the entire world booms. It's been the history. When it goes bad, it goes bad. You all follow us down and you follow us up, and we're at a point that I don't believe we've ever been. I never thought we could do it this quickly. My biggest surprise is I thought it would take more than a year, maybe like a year and 1 month. But it's happened very quickly. This afternoon, I want to discuss how we have achieved this economic miracle, how we intend to raise living standards for our citizens to levels never seen before, and perhaps how you too and the places where you come from can do much better by following what we're doing, because certain places in Europe are not even recognizable, frankly, anymore. They're not recognizable. And we can argue about it, but there's no argument. Friends come back from different places. I don't want to insult anybody and say I don't recognize it. And that's not in a positive way. That's in a very negative way. And I love Europe, and I want to see Europe go good, but it's not heading in the right direction. In recent decades, it became conventional wisdom in Washington and European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy was through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Green New Scam, and that countries could be propped up by importing new and entirely different populations from faraway lands. This was the path that Sleepy Joe Biden administration and many other Western governments very foolishly followed, turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong. And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing sovereign deficit driven by the largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And the ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it. Virtually all of the so-called experts predicted my plans to end this failed model would trigger a global recession and runaway inflation. But we have proven them wrong. It's actually just the opposite. Because of my landslide election victory, the United States avoided the catastrophic energy collapse which befell every European nation that pursued the Green New Scam, perhaps the greatest hoax in history. The Green New Scam, windmills all over the place, destroy your land, destroy your land. Every time that goes around, you lose $1,000. You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Here in Europe, we've seen the fate that the radical left tried to impose on America. They tried very hard. Germany now generates 22% less electricity than it did in 2017. And it's not the current chancellor's fault. He's solving the problem. He's going to do a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999. Think of that, 1/3. And they're sitting on top of the North Sea, one of the greatest reserves anywhere in the world, but they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally high prices. High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3. And you're sitting on top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, you know, that's depleted. It's not depleted. It's got 500 years. They haven't even found the oil. The North Sea is incredible. They don't let anybody drill. Environmentally, they don't let them drill. They make it impossible for the oil companies to go. They take 92% of the revenues. So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me. Is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great. They're sitting on one of the greatest energy sources in the world, and they don't use it. In fact, their electricity prices have soared 139%. There are windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place. and they are losers. One thing I've noticed is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills, and yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves. Stupid people buy them. The consequences of such destructive policies have been stark, including lower economic growth, lower standards of living, lower birth rates, more socially disruptive migration, more vulnerability to hostile foreign adversaries, and much, much smaller militaries. The United States cares greatly about the people of Europe. We really do. I mean, look, I am derived from Europe. Scotland and Germany, 100% Scotland, my mother, 100% German, my father. And we believe deeply in the bonds we share with Europe as a civilization. I want to see it do great. That's why issues like energy, trade, immigration, and economic growth must be central concerns to anyone who wants to see a strong and united West, because Europe and those countries have to do their thing. They have to get out of the culture that they've created over the last 10 years. It's horrible what they're doing to themselves. They're destroying themselves. It's beautiful, beautiful places. We want strong allies, not seriously weakened ones. We want Europe to be strong. Ultimately, these are matters of national security, and perhaps no current issue makes the situation more clear than what's currently going on with Greenland. Would you like me to say a few words of Greenland? I was going to leave it out of the speech, but I think I would have been reviewed very negatively. I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark, tremendous respect. But every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. We're a great power, much greater than people even understand. I think they found that out 2 weeks ago in Venezuela. We saw this in World War II, when Denmark fell to Germany after just 6 hours of fighting and was totally unable to defend either itself or Greenland. So the United States was then compelled, we did it, we felt an obligation to do it, to send our own forces to hold the Greenland territory, and hold it we did at great cost and expense. They didn't have a chance of getting on it, and they tried. Denmark knows that. We literally set up bases on Greenland for Denmark. We fought for Denmark. We weren't fighting for anyone else. We were fighting to save it for Denmark. Big, beautiful piece of ice. It's hard to call it land. It's a big piece of ice. But we saved Greenland and successfully prevented our enemies from gaining a foothold in our hemisphere. So we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big. Without us, right now you'd all be speaking German and a little Japanese, perhaps. After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark. How stupid were we to do that? But we did it. But we gave it back. But how ungrateful are they now? So now our country and the world face much greater risks than it did ever before because of missiles, because of nuclear, because of weapons of warfare that I can't even talk about. 2 weeks ago, they saw weapons that nobody ever heard of. They weren't able to fire one shot at us. They said, what happened? Everything was discombobulated. They said, we've got them in our sights. Press the trigger, and nothing happened. No anti-aircraft missiles went up. Greenland is a vast, almost entirely uninhabited and undeveloped territory. It's sitting undefended in a key strategic location between the United States, Russia, and China. That's exactly where it is, right smack in the middle. Wasn't important nearly when we gave it back. You know, when we gave it back, it wasn't the same as it is now. It's not important for any other reason, you know, everyone talks about the minerals. There's so many places, there's no rare earth, no such thing as rare earth. There's rare processing, but there's so much rare earth. And this, to get to this rare earth, you got to go through hundreds of feet of ice. That's not the reason we need it. We need it for strategic national security and international security. This enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America, on the northern frontier of the Western Hemisphere. That's our territory.